Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our second episode of Conversations with Superintendent Caleris. Today, we are celebrating all things of our class of 2025. We have 4 graduating seniors here. We have Ava, Sierra, Bella, and Aiden, and also we have our all-star staff member, Mrs. Jackie Holko, who has been a teacher in the district for many, many years, but is also our senior class advisor. So welcome, everybody.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me.
Good morning. Good morning. So before we begin, I would like to know a little bit about each of you. So tell me your name, what you're going to do after high school. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. Sierra, let's go with you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sierra. In the fall, I'm going to be attending BTSU to major in health science.
Is there a reason you chose health science? Is it something you've just been interested over the years?
Yes, I would like to, in the future, become a radiologist. So that's something that's going to help me with the backbone of that.
Very good. Excellent. Bella?
My name's Bella, and my plans are to go to OSU for medical lab sciences to become like a cytotechnologist and study cells.
So you're going to have to go to grad school for that. Obviously. Oh, wow. So I heard a rumor that you went on the Europe trip this past spring, and now you're going to you want to study abroad. So tell me a little bit about that and why you decided that that's something for you.
Well, like going on the Europe trip twice, it was like the culture there is amazing and everything's just a little bit like different than here, and it was so beautiful, and I want to like explore different countries and study there.
How did mom and dad react to you wanting to go? Did you just kind of like tell them that you were going to Europe, or did you kind of ask? How did that go?
I mean, I asked, but they were definitely like, they're happy for me because like it's definitely a really good experience.
Outstanding. Very good. Very good. Ava, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You look a little nervous.
Just a little bit.
That's all right. That's all right. So tell us about you.
My name's Ava, and this year I'm going to be going to Cleveland State University and major in health science and hopefully get into a PA program.
Excellent. Excellent. And why PA? Why have you chosen that field?
I also want to have like a little independency while doing healthcare, but also be under the guide of like a physician. So I feel like being a PA would be a good idea to do.
Excellent. Well, I'm a Cleveland State Viking, so you've chosen correctly. Great job. Aiden, tell us a little bit about you.
Oh, yeah. So I haven't really decided where I was going yet for college yet because, I want to play baseball. But my plan is to major in finance and hopefully work in my family business when I get older.
Outstanding. And Mrs. Holko, tell us a little bit about you and your experiences.
Yes, good morning. This is my 22nd year in the district, specifically at the high school. I used to actually teach with Dr. Caleris, which is a fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
But yeah, so I've been here for a long time. I've seen a lot of kids, older siblings of these guys, and oddly enough, teaching kids of some of the kids that I taught at this point. So that makes me feel a little bit on the old side. But I teach Spanish and the college career senior class and organize the Europe trip and do all things senior. So
yeah. I was able to, I got access to your photo circle over the Europe trip, and I was fascinated with some of the things that I saw. Tell me about the koala bear that I kept seeing in all the pictures. I'm scrolling through it with my wife, and I'm like, there's the koala again. Tell me about the koala bear.
His name was Gelato, and our tour director, Andrea, she gave us him on the beginning of the trip, and we had to take the most creative pictures we could with him, and he kind of became like our child that we like passed around and like tried
who
to...
got Gelato at the end? Who got custody at the end? I don't even know.
Oh, did we leave Gelato in Europe?
He didn't have his passport.
He didn't have his passport, right?
I guess not.
Maybe
He was.
Riley.
I think Riley.
Yeah, Riley took care of him the most. She's a junior,
Uh-huh.
but
So Riley took care. Okay, outstanding. Okay, one more question. The cats. Like, were these feral cats? Tell me about the cats.
Yeah, they're just wild cats.
they're stray
all over.
cats. Yeah.
Were they friendly?
Yeah. If you treat them nice, like you fed them and stuff, they'll be down and cuddle and stuff.
Okay. All right.
We didn't bring any home.
Well, that's good. I don't think they would have gotten on the plane.
No, they don't
Very
pass
good.
customs.
So seniors, tell me about this trip. Like, why all of you went, correct?
Mhm.
All right. Why was this trip such a great experience, and why did you really want to go on that trip? Ella, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's like the completely different like world there. The culture is different, like all the people, everything, like the customs, just like cars. Like you don't see a lot of cars there, and
Really?
no, it's a walking like countries. They're all walking countries,
Here's something like 25,000 steps a day or something like that.
Oh yeah, we worked it.
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Aiden, tell me a little bit about your experience on the trip.
Oh yeah, I got I guess quite a story for you. So yeah,
I'm so glad you brought Aiden. That's great. I love it.
we started off, having a little delay. We thought it was only a couple hours, but we ended up staying at the Cleveland airport to about like 12, and then we took a flight to Philly, so we missed our flight to Rome, unfortunately. But we stayed at Philly. Me and my good friend Kevin got a little DoorDash of Wawa at 3 a.m., so that kind of helped us a little bit, get us through the trip. But then when we got there, it was a great experience. Made a lot of friends with waiters down there.
I saw the pictures. I saw like dancing in Greece, which I'm Greek, so I was a little jealous that you guys were in Greece.
Yeah, it was quite the experience for sure.
Ava, what about you? What did you love about the Europe trip?
I love the change of scenery, how we went to so many different places, and like the architecture is so different from like Ohio. I had a lot of fun like when we went to like the beach and stuff, and like we jumped in the ocean. It was cold, but it was fun. Just like the different experiences were nice.
That's great. Sierra, I got a little bit of a funny story. So as I'm opening up the pictures, the first picture I see is of you and a friend. And what do you have in your hand? Gelato.
Yes.
So obviously the food experience was amazing in Europe. Tell me a little bit about that.
I loved the gelato. I remember our first day, we didn't eat much but gelato. We got gelato 3 times that day. So that was definitely something. And just going around everywhere. I mean, there was a gelato spot every single corner. So we were always getting some of that. And the memories that we got from everything and the laughs that we shared all together, I actually got, I grew up like with these 2 girls that we were really close with. Miss Smith's daughter was on the trip, Grace, Rosie and Jordan. So we got really close with them, and they're freshmen and sophomore, and they don't go to Brooklyn.
Right.
And they got really close with us, and we just really grew up really good on the trip together.
Outstanding. That's great. This is Holco.
Yes.
Let's
The students got to cook on the trip too.
Did they?
We didn't just eat gelato.
What did you
Yep.
cook?
So they went to a Greek cooking class in Crete. And they cooked for about 4 hours, and they cooked the thieves' dinner, which is like a lamb stew that's done in this wood fire grill. They prepared all that. They prepared some appetizers. They prepared dessert. They roasted veggies. They did it all, and it was all cool outside in this olive grove. This family, Virna, was the leader of the family, and she and her brother and her sons and cousin just kind of took over, and the kids all cooked, and everybody jumped in. Aiden manned the stove.
Okay.
He knew his
So
role.
he was the grill guy. He was the stove guy.
Right.
Okay.
Everybody has a role.
Territorial. Got a little territorial.
He had to, pack up the thieves' dinner. You cooked in these little foil packets, And then, Bella was a dough master. So she was out there, with another student, Andrea, who was on the trip. And they were just, they've made their fair share of pastries before. And you could tell. So, and then we got to eat it all, which was the best part. So,
Well, I saw all the pictures, and I think I was texting with Mrs. Holco at some point and said, okay, I'm going on the next trip. Obviously, you won't be there, but I think I'm going to go on the next trip. Mrs. Holco, tell me, so being senior class advisor, you kind of see the ups and downs of senior year from the beginning to now, as we're, 20-something days left? How many days of school left?
I think like 23.
We're not counting, right? We going, right?
Oh yeah.
they didn't have I asked the other day, they
Really?
didn't have a countdown. No.
So, Ms. Holco, tell me about your role as the senior class advisor and kind of the things you do with the kids to work them through the senior year.
Yeah, so Mrs. Bader kind of takes them through their first couple of years with student council, and then I take over for them for getting ready for prom and kind of getting things ready for graduation with Mr. Ross and Mrs. Burr. But it's a fun job because I had most of these guys as freshmen and sophomores, so now I get to see them as big kids, and they're going out into the world. And best part is we get to plan prom together and graduation activities and the end of the year stuff. And they're involved in a lot of stuff, this group,
No, they
so
are.
we get
Yeah.
to watch them kind of find themselves throughout the time and then send them off. And my favorite part is prom morning. We go to the prom site and they get like a little sneak peek of everything. And it's just kind of cool to watch it all come together. And graduation's really special. You hear them all
It is.
get their names, and their families are yelling. And,
Yeah.
you watched when they were 14 and 15 when you saw them for the first time. And
Yeah.
now they're going out.
That's
So
all of you are pretty active in lots of different activities, and so tell me a little bit about why being active in clubs as a musical or marching band or athletics or whatever it is, why is being active so important? Was such an important part of your journey at Brooklyn? Let's start with you.
It really teaches you that life isn't just about your studies. Of course, it's important to like focus on classes, but like being in high school, you have to enjoy the other moments, and being in extracurricular classes help you build like relationships with friends and with teachers, and help you really figure out like what do you want to do in the future that doesn't just necessarily like go towards your career. And yeah.
Outstanding. Aiden, I'm going to ask you a specific question here. You played hockey for the first time ever this year, correct?
That's true.
can you skate, Aiden?
Actually, I'm not too bad at
Can
it.
you stop?
I can stop.
Okay, we'll eventually stop, right?
Yeah.
But so as I'm watching the games, as I watch guys from afar, I see your participation, but what impressed me the most about that is that you tried something that you really never did, knowing that you had to work really hard at it. So like tell us a little bit about why you went down that path, why you decided to play hockey, and why was that important for you?
Well, obviously, I just wanted to try something new. A lot of friends, they played sports. Like a couple of them, like they don't want to play. They played sports with me. They didn't want to play. So I was like, all right, hey, maybe I'll try this out. Maybe I'll like it. It was actually one of the most fun sports I played in my life, I'd say. Other than baseball, but I mean, other than that, yeah, it was a good experience. The coach was my neighbor. I knew him my whole life, so it was good. Just go play out for him. Finally, he's been wanting me to play with
Coach
him.
Ross is a great guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been wanting me to play with him since I was like 8 years old. In his backyard, he's like, hey, my dad was like, nope, can't play.
Excellent. Ava, tell me a little bit about your extracurricular activities and why that was so important for you.
I feel like it was mostly because of like the memories you make, like necessarily like you're not just stuck on studying, just trying to get good grades, but like you're actually making like friends. You're going out of like places that you didn't think you would do. Like for me, I did soccer. I never played soccer in my life actually. Bella got me into soccer. We actually like watched the World Cup together. And that's what actually got me into playing soccer. And I made so many friends and like different memories that I wouldn't want to replace. And I probably regret it if I didn't play soccer.
Outstanding. Sarah, one of the things that so my wife sometimes would come to our games, especially our football and basketball, and you were a cheerleader, and she was always so impressed with how you guys performed, and in cheerleading. We would always compare you and to other schools, and we're always so impressed with that. But extracurriculars were very important for you. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I was a cheerleader for my 4 years of high school. I think that my favorite thing about cheering was definitely the other grades that are involved. When I first started as a freshman, I saw the leadership and everything that came along with it. And then when I got to my junior and senior year with the captain and everything, I was able to help the girls along the way, show them that they can improve and that things can get better, and they'll soon be like how I was as a captain. And I think that it was just very nice seeing them grow, because I've had like Amanda, Nicole, I've had all of them as little like JV cheerleaders, and now they're growing up. And my senior year was so nice being able to be a captain to them and showing them leadership and everything of that sort.
That's amazing. Mrs. Hokel, tell me, what do you think this class, the class of 2025, what legacy do you think they'll leave with Brooklyn High School?
Well, one of the things I was going to mention before I even asked this question was these are 4 extremely well-rounded students. I mean, I think you can just hear it in your answers, to things you're asking, but they know how to manage their time. Extracurriculars gave them a chance to figure out how to manage school, how to manage extracurriculars, and then also they all work. They all have jobs, a couple jobs, some of them. And so they've figured that out. And I think that this class particularly, the teachers and I, believe it or not, do talk about you guys, a little bit.
A lot.
A lot, yeah.
Clear, a lot.
And we always say, oh, well, we liked, these couple kids, or, there was this group that was awesome. But this class as a whole is fun. This class likes life, and that's really refreshing to see. So I really appreciate that from you guys. We saw it in the classroom. We see it at your extracurriculars. We saw it on the Europe trip. You guys are fun. You're enjoyable to be around. And when you have classes that you want to be in your class with, it makes the day go by better, and it's fun when you guys give us stuff back, and you guys definitely give us good energy back. So
Well,
I appreciate that.
I would agree. Like when you think of our all-star seniors, these 4 students here come to mind without doubt. Ava, who has been the biggest impact to you as an adult at Brooklyn High School? Teacher, staff member, coach? Like when that person, adult, comes to mind, who's had the biggest impact on you at Brooklyn High School?
I would say the biggest teacher that had the biggest impact on me was Miss Fields. I had her once for my geometry class in my sophomore year, and even though I wasn't the brightest in math, especially, she always taught me to just keep going. Grades don't matter, and even though she also was a great teacher itself, and she would help me understand. So she would take time out of her day just to make sure I understood the lessons, and I think that's what really stood out to me and made me not give up, especially in math, and just to try my hardest.
Sandy Bell, take the same question to you.
I feel like there's 3 of them, and it's Mrs. Holko, Mrs. Sullivan, and Mrs. Bader, because they're all kind of like moms to me.
So different.
Yeah.
So different.
Yeah, like Mrs. Holko on the Europe trip, I unfortunately got a little bit sick, and Mrs. Holko was right there. She helped me through that. And Mrs. Bader will always when I'm down in her class, she'll always help me back up. And Mrs. Sullivan is such an academic. She's helped me through my CCP classes, and they're all just they've gotten me through high school.
Outstanding. Sarah and Ada, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I want you to talk a little bit about, you're, 4 years ago, you're a freshman coming in. You would have loved to, listen, receive some advice. What advice would you give incoming freshmen next year as they start their high school career? Aiden, we'll start with you.
I think a big thing is, don't try to get too lazy on your senior year, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little lazy here at the end. I think it's good to stay on path. It helps set for a good schedule when you get out of work. You got that same schedule, your classes, everything is just gonna flow smoothly if everything's in order. It's just gonna help you as a person and develop you into the career you pursue after high school.
Outstanding. Sarah, what do you think?
I would definitely say managing your time well. That is something that I learned my freshman year. I need to stay very organized. That helped a lot, getting a binder, everything like that. And your teachers help you. They set you up with that and everything together. Definitely getting involved, but prioritizing is key. Just getting involved and then working with your studies as well. I know my junior year was kind of a little bit of a tough spot, but my senior year, it was getting time to just really get down to business, and balancing is key between your extracurriculars and everything that you are going into, the clubs and programs that you're working with.
Ms. Holko, you're going to receive thank you, Sarah. You're going to receive a whole new group of seniors coming up here pretty soon. What's your advice to them as you meet with them the first time and they're in front of you? What's your message as their senior advisor?
I feel like my general message to all seniors is always get involved and stay on top of things from the very first, week of school. I always say turn on your Google Classroom notifications for the senior Google Classroom, because it amazes me how many students choose to stay unplugged versus really being in contact with the class. And you want to be involved, even if you haven't been up to senior year, get involved with something like Aiden said, join hockey. You can do whatever you want, get involved with your friends. But specifically to my college career seniors, I always tell them, this is day one of figuring out what you're going to do. Whether you're going to college, you're going to go work, you're going to go in the military, we're going to figure out what you're going to do, but you have to be ready to take the leap a little bit, and you got to put the work in to figure out what the best fit is for you.
Very good. We are coming to the end here, and I want to give all 5 of you the opportunity to leave one last message for the Brooklyn community. So keeping that in mind, like, what would your message be to the Brooklyn community? A fond memory, anything you really want to offer as you're kind of walking out the door. Sierra, let's start with you.
I would definitely say getting involved in the community, volunteering when you can. I know growing up, my mom always took me to anything. I was in a summer camp through Brooklyn, and just getting kids involved and everything of that sort.
Thank you. Bella?
Realize how lucky you are to be at like a diverse, like resourceful, like with passionate teachers, like school. Be proud to be a hurricane.
Absolutely. Ava?
I would say just always try to be kind, even though like life is tough. Like never try to give anyone else attitude, because you never know like what they're going through as well. Like just don't take your emotions out on anyone else. Just try to keep it chill and have fun. Really.
That's great. Aiden?
Yeah, support from the community, it helps, especially us athletes, drive it. We want to perform for everyone here. Our goal is to be, one of the top like districts in the area. We just want to strive for excellence. That's all.
Outstanding. You guys have done an amazing job. All right, before we go, we got to talk about upcoming senior activities. So we have prom on Friday, May 16th. Where's prom at this year?
Prom is at the zoo.
Are we excited about prom?
Yes.
Do we have dates? No, it's okay. You don't need dates. You don't need dates. Go by yourselves. But everybody's excited? Outstanding. And then we have the big day commencement on Friday, the 23rd, 6 p.m. at the stadium, hoping for great weather. Am I missing any other senior activities? When's the senior?
We have awards night.
Awards night? When is our senior awards?
Awards is Monday the 12th, I believe it is. Yeah, so we have Honor Society inductions at 6, followed by senior awards at 7.
And we've all applied for scholarships over and over again. I'm sure Mr. Ross has reminded you several times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any other senior activities?
I think that's it, right?
All right. Well, I want to thank all of you. You've done an amazing job. There was no reason to be nervous, but I want to thank you. Your parents, I'm sure, are just so proud of you. We are so proud of all of you, what you've done. You've been an amazing senior class. I think when I came back in 2020, I think you were 8th graders at the time. And so I couldn't be more proud to be your superintendent. So I want to wish you guys all congratulations, good luck, and you're always welcome back to Brooklyn High School. This has been our episode celebrating all things class of 2025. I want to thank everybody. Have a great afternoon.